Greetings, dear viewers. Welcome to the first episode of Afghan History in Chapters. Today, we will explore the beginnings of Afghanistan's history with the Mehrgarh Civilization, which laid the foundations of agriculture and culture 5,000 years ago. This is the story of our ancient pride. Are you ready? Let's begin. Original content. Part 1. The beginnings of the Mehrgarh Civilization, 3000 to 2500 BC. The history of Afghanistan begins thousands of years ago, around 3000 BC, with the Mehrgarh Civilization. Located near present-day Quetta in Baluchistan, Mehrgarh was one of the world's earliest agricultural societies. It was part of the Pashtun culture, which spanned the Hindu Kush Mountains and the Indus River. The people of Mehrgarh were among the first to cultivate wheat, barley, and legumes, and they domesticated cattle, goats, and sheep. This marked the start of the agricultural revolution, which laid the foundation for human civilization. The Mehrgarh people built mud brick houses, similar to modern rural homes. They used tools made of clay and stone, and established organized cemeteries for burial. Artifacts found in their graves, such as seashell necklaces and beads made of precious stones, indicate an extensive trade network. The Mehrgarh people traded with the Middle East and the Indus Valley civilization, marking the early foundations of the Silk Road. This era was a time of building cultural and economic foundations, paving the way for future civilizations. The Mehrgarh civilization was among the most advanced of its time. They developed simple irrigation systems for agriculture, and their handicrafts, such as pottery and weaving, were of high quality. Archaeological finds from Mehrgarh, like clay figurines and jewelry, showcase their cultural diversity and technical skills. This civilization played a significant role in shaping human history alongside other ancient civilizations, such as Sumer and Egypt. Part 2. Cultural and economic growth of Mehrgarh, 2500 to 2200 BC. Around 2500 BC, Mehrgarh evolved into a more expansive society. They developed the earliest urban structures, with signs of organized streets and houses. The Mehrgarh economy was based on agriculture, trade, and handicrafts. They had trade connections with the Indus Valley civilizations such as Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, and their products, like pottery and metal tools, reached as far as the Middle East. The Mehrgarh people initiated religious traditions, evident in their burial rituals and clay figurines. They created statues of mother goddesses, symbolizing fertility and agriculture. These religious practices laid the foundation for later cultures, such as the Pashtun and Indus Valley civilizations. The people of Mehrgarh began using copper and bronze tools, marking the start of the Metal Age. Their trade networks served as early precursors to the Silk Road, facilitating cultural exchange. During this period, Mehrgarh society was based on a tribal system. They were governed by tribal leaders, and their social structure revolved around agriculture and trade. They built clay warehouses to store their products, and their irrigation systems were essential for agricultural growth. This era was a time of economic and cultural advancement, laying the groundwork for Afghanistan's future civilizations. Part 3. The decline and legacy of Mehrgarh, 2200 to 2000 BC. Around 2200 BC, the Mehrgarh civilization began to weaken, possibly due to climate change, water scarcity, or invasions by external tribes. However, their cultural and economic legacy provided a foundation for subsequent civilizations, such as the Pashtun and Indus Valley cultures. Mehrgarh's agricultural and trade systems inspired other communities around the Hindu Kush Mountains. Archaeological finds from Mehrgarh, such as pottery, jewelry, and agricultural tools, highlight their technical prowess. These artifacts are preserved today in museums, such as the Quetta Museum in Pakistan and the Louvre Museum in France. The Mehrgarh civilization represents the first chapter of Afghanistan's history, symbolizing the cultural foundations of the Pashtuns and other local tribes. Their trade and agricultural systems paved the way for later empires, such as the Achaemenids and Kushans. With the decline of Mehrgarh, other parts of the Pashtun civilization, such as areas around Kandahar and Herat, began to flourish. These regions emerged as cultural and economic centers for future empires. The legacy of Mehrgarh remains a vital part of Pashtun culture and Afghanistan's ancient history, still studied by archaeologists today. Dear viewers, that was the brief story of the Mehrgarh Civilization, the first page of Afghanistan's history. From agriculture and trade to cultural diversity, Mehrgarh is the foundation of our pride. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to our channel and stay tuned for the second episode, where we'll discuss the expansion of the Pashtun civilization. Share your thoughts in the comments. See you next time.